Hi, I'm Chad, and welcome to WASD.tv. This show is about all aspects of gaming, brought to you by gamers. Our first episode is all about QuakeCon and getting their gamer style.
QuakeCon is a free convention held every year in the Dallas, Texas area. Thousands of computer gamers from all over the world make the pilgrimage to play with their friends on a giant gaming network, see the latest cool technology, and compete in a world-class tournament. Often described as the Woodstock of gaming, QuakeCon is 4 days of peace, love, and rockets.
Thanks for tuning in. Our first segment is an interview with a longtime QuakeCon attendee and staff member. All right, man. Good game.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. This is Trey, but at QuakeCon, you're gonna know him as T-Dog. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
For work, I'm an engineer for ExxonMobil's refinery up in Baton Rouge. I've pretty much been a video gamer for the last 25 years of my life.
So we know you're a hardcore gamer, but what exactly got you started?
Back in the 70s, my grandparents had a Pong machine of all things. Throughout the 80s, when I was maybe about 9 or 10 years old, we got Atari 2600, Pac-Man, and Galaga, and Fender, and all that good stuff. And then in the mid-80s, a lot of my friends started getting computers like Commodore 64s and Apple IIs and all that good fun stuff. And probably that's when I first got into computer gaming. Summer after my freshman year, a buddy of mine gave me a shareware disc with Wolfenstein 3D on it. 2 years later, in 1993, me and like several thousands of other people downloaded the Doom shareware on December 10th. And when I first heard that Bobby Prince opening riff on E1 M1 start up and started running around the level, then our jaws just dropped. And from then on, it's been nothing but one series of hardware upgrades and the next big game and everything ever since.
So how many QuakeCons have you attended?
Well, this year will be the 8th consecutive QuakeCon I've gone to. I started in '98 and been to every one since.
Can you give us a brief history on QuakeCon?
QuakeCon basically started in 1996, kind of sprung out of IRC, Pound QuakeCon on FNet. Basically about 30 people from all over the United States decided that they wanted to get together in real life. So they all came down to Garland and got together and hooked up a LAN, had a small tournament, and that was the first QuakeCon. Probably the big highlight of it that year is that id Software showed up after hearing about it. Came down and just kind of hung out with the guys, and Carmack talked to him and talked about what was going on with Doom and Quake at that time and everything.
So how did you first hear about QuakeCon and how did you get involved?
Back in '96, if you were any type of serious Quake player, you were reading all the news sites like Blues News and Scary Sugar Shack and Redwood's Quake page. Probably first heard about off of a Redwoods page back then. In terms of my involvement, first year I could go was in '98, and for the first several years, I was just an attendee, going for the BYOC and the tournaments and the presentations and everything. But in about 2002, 2003, I decided I really want to start kind of giving back because QuakeCon's a big volunteer-run event and everything.
So tell us about some of the positions that you've held at QuakeCon.
Well, I've worked a lot of positions. Volunteer as kind of the tourney pit crew, which is like hooking up mice and keyboards to the gamers in the tournament area, redo some machines. I've worked bag check. I've worked night security at the vendor area. Last year I got involved with the crimping crew, Crimp Nation, setting up all the LAN hardware before the event. And I've really kind of been involved with tournament areas for the last several years, quite a bit, and this year they've asked me back to be the Doom 3 tournament director. Cool.
I'm sure you've seen a lot of changes over the past few years, but can you tell us about the amount of gamers that attend each event?
The first QuakeCon started off with 30 people online, but by the end of the weekend, a lot of other people had heard about it, and it's probably about 100 people overall total. Last year, we had over 5,000 attendees show up from over 3,000 people in the BYOC, so it was obviously blown up quite a bit over the years.
What about the way the sponsors have shown their support?
I've really been impressed with the level of sponsor support from year to year. In the early years, it was a little more behind the scenes, but starting when the tournaments kind of got larger in 2000, 2001, and so on, you really see the level of sponsorship really grow. I mean, you have the major sponsors, Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, ATI, and the level of commitment and the booths that they've set up, showing off all their hardware and software that is coming out. For example, the Activision booths, first place you saw Call of Duty and the Wolfenstein demo back in 2001. The vendor has really gotten impressive. It's really cool to kind of go down there and kind of get a first-hand glimpse of what's coming along. And QuakeCon wouldn't happen without the vendor support.
What level of involvement do you see from id Software at QuakeCon?
It's really kind of been involved from the beginning. id Software, and specifically their business people like Todd Hollinshead and Marty Stratton, help and work with the QuakeCon executive staff to help put together the event every year, organize a venue, and get the sponsors, and just all kinds of behind-the-scenes things that have to happen to make an event this big come off.
What do you think the biggest attraction of QuakeCon 2005 is going to be?
Well, I think it really varies from person to person. I mean, for some people, it's all about the BYOC or the tournament. Some people love coming to see id Software's keynote address. A lot of guys get really hyped up over the hard OCP workshop that they do every year. For me personally, for 2005, I'm really looking forward to seeing the new Quake 4 multiplayer demo, or whatever the presentation is going to be, and looking forward to seeing more about Enemy Territories Quake Wars.
So tell us what keeps you coming back to QuakeCon each year.
Well, for me, I think that answer's changed from year to year. In the early days, it was all about the BYOC, getting together and playing Quake for 4 days straight on a massive LAN. Then it started becoming more about the other events, like the keynote address or the mod forum presentation, some of the behind-the-scenes info, so to speak. And in the last couple of years, it's all been about kind of giving back and volunteering and getting together and seeing the people that I talk to online with every day in real life, just kind of getting together and having a big old party with them. It's great.
Thanks for helping us start off our first show, and we look forward to seeing you at QuakeCon this year.
Great, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you. We know that you're going to be carrying your computer to QuakeCon, but are you ready for the long registration line? One thing that's going to help lessen the load will be the way you carry around your equipment. There are several products out there that will help you move your gear through the registration line a bit easier. Whether you have an LCD or a CRT, there are several manufacturers out there that make a case to help you carry your monitor. Whether you have a full tower or a shuttle PC, there are several manufacturers who make bags and carrying straps to help you move your equipment through the line. Alright, now that you have a carrying case for your computer and one for your LCD, this should make the registration line go by a lot smoother. If you're on the road for more than a couple hours, you're probably going to get bored. On our many trips to QuakeCon, we found a few things to help take our road trip to the next level. Okay, so you're on your way to QuakeCon and you want to land on the way there. You're going to need a few things to make that happen. First off, a power inverter. Plug one into the cigarette lighter, a power strip into the other end, and you're ready to go. Next off is a switch. You're going to need one in the car to connect all the computers to. If you're traveling to QuakeCon in more than one vehicle, you can connect those two cars together with a wireless router. For a little more distance, you can add an external antenna. If you want to get on the internet while you're on the road, you can pick up one of these PCMCA cards off of eBay really cheap. Call your provider, activate the card for 1 month, and then cancel. Once you have everything up and running, you'll be able to play games, swap files, and chat online. All the simple pleasures of home. Thank you for watching the first episode of WASD.tv. If you've got any show suggestions or comments, please email us at info@wasd.tv. Thank you.